Welcome back, folks. With me, Phil Tyrell. You're watching part 2 of the Sonic 1 Let's Play. So, Springyard Zone. Springyard Zone's my favorite zone in the entire game. I like the aesthetics. I like the way it looks. I just like the environment that this takes place in, and the music very much has that Sega twang in it that I really do like. And some of the things that make me chuckle about this level is there's words kind of like spelt out in some of the levels like cope or CPU, and it's like, why is the word cope in this, and also why is central processing unit in this as well? But it is what it is. Imagine cope is because there's some annoying parts in the level. It's not the most speed optimized level, shall we say. I mean, I'm sure there's a way to optimize your speed here that I'm not seeing, but there's a lot of spike ball hazards as well. There's spike balls here that are moving. There's a spike ball chain. There's spike balls moving in a circle. There's just spike balls all over the place. Just balls all over. And there's also hidden pathways here that you can, go through. Maybe find a shortcut, find some extra rings, that sort of thing. I think there's even a room with TV monitors for you to break so you can get some rings and all that good stuff. But this right here is what the most annoying part of Spring Yard Zone is this makeshift elevator with all the slow moving boxes, which really slows down the pace. And these purple robots, purple crab bots, whatever they are, I'll let Future Phil tell me or write what that is, that robot's name is. But those purple robots are bit of a pain to take out in the original version, and I'm saying that because you can't jump on them, obviously. I mean, they have spikes on their back. So what you would normally have to do is get a little bit of speed and roll into them, and then you can take them out that way. That's like the best way to take them out. And we're already done with level 1, Act 1. Just hit that little switch and you can get yourself a little shortcut there. So we passed Act 1, and we're going to continue into Special Zone 5. And we shall get the red Chaos Emerald, I think. I think it's white, but it's red when we nab it. So, this is the last of the, I want to say the Exploring Labyrinth special zones. And at all possible, try to slow down the rotation if you can. That's my opinion, of course. If you like it fast, that's fine too. And then, of course, use the reverse rotation blocks to change the rotation in a manner that best suits where you are. But that's my opinion. If you don't need to reverse it, then do not reverse it. But at all costs, I guess, slow it down. That way you have a little bit more time to see what you're about to jump into. Because right here is where I'm going to make a very big risky thing. Just fall right through. Not actually, is it right here, or is it? I think it's actually Special Zone 6. But once you get in here, it's really not as bad. As soon as you get in the middle, just try to take out as many of these diamonds, crystals, whatever you want to call it, barrier blocks. And just stay on these peppermint candy looking blocks. That way you can get a nice springboard to jump off of. And then just beware of the bouncing blocks. You don't want them to shoot you off into a goal block and then you get messed up by that. That's no fun. So, jump, nab it, and we got the 5th Chaos Emerald, the red Chaos Emerald. I might have recorded this part like a few times. But with that, we can continue on to Act 2 of Spring Yard Zone. Okay, we got 3 coins. That's awesome. Do. Anyways, hit the red spring and we'll launch over here and we'll get some crazy speed right here. And then you can choose to go up or down. And of course I got taken out by a crab bot. Well, I didn't die, but I did get hit. And again, these purple bots, just roll into them like that. That's how you take them out in the original. Or you now have the spin dash in the anniversary mode. So, up to you. When I'm playing this game, even on the anniversary mode, I forget that we have the spin dash available to us. So I tend to use like the old ways to take out these bots without the spin dash. And if you go up here, you can get some invincibility, but it's going to be a little bit wasted because of this right here. This part right here. If you go down that way, You can also go down there and get some those rings if you want, if you hug the right hand wall. But these bouncing balls that are also in the special stage, and then just my lack of speed just wasted that invincibility. I felt like I could have gotten a lot more value out from that, but it is what it is. So jump on the spring here, or not. You can go to the right as well, but I'm going to jump on the spring here. This will allow you to bypass a little bit of the hazards down the bottom. It's up to you. I feel like there might be a little bit more speed there at the bottom, but this also just allows you to bypass enemies and kind of like speed traps down there. I imagine there are. I normally just take the upper route in Spring Yard Zone, but we're already done with the level, so just follow those rings, and then if you got 50 rings, jump into the giant ring and go into Special Zone 6. Do 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 do. And Special Zone 6 is a smaller version of Special Zone 3 where the Chaos Emeralds are like right there in the middle, but I'm going to mess this up really early because of the bouncing blocks. So yeah, embarrassing. But I'm going to trade in a coin, get another attempt, and it's literally very easy to get this Chaos Emerald, or very hard, depending if you decide to not pay attention. But I find, even though this is my least favorite, I say it's my least favorite because that what happened in the very beginning always happens to me without fail. So a little bit embarrassing that happened to me on this Let's Play, but it is what it is. We got the gray Chaos Emerald, and so notice that we don't have 7. We don't have 6. The 7th Chaos Emerald wasn't introduced until Sonic 2, which in my little headcanon, that's also why Sonic can't go supersonic in this game, because we technically don't have all the Chaos Emeralds, even though the game says we got them all. Don't go down here at the bottom. There's really nothing down here unless you go on the left side to get some rings, which you'll get plenty of rings here. Since this is Act 3, there's no special zone, so no need to hog rings unless you really care about getting points, which in my case I really don't. I do like to speedrun occasionally in Sonic games, but not Sonic 1. Actually, I don't really like speedrun unless it's the later Sonic games, but that's a story for another time. Right here, this jump was really hard to do in the original version, but since we have the spin dash, it's going to take me a minute to realize, oh yeah, I have the spin dash. Let me just go ahead and use that. So it's really hard to make that jump without any sort of speed, so right there, just spin dash and jump over. And if you were to make all those jumps, you can avoid all this stuff, and it's a little bit faster, and then you don't have to worry about this elevator portion right here. These elevator portions is my least favorite part of my favorite zone. Such a catchy song, or track I should say. But continue on, just make sure you don't get shot by the crab bots. Continue on here. What? Don't, oh jeez, don't stub your feet on the spikes of those purple bots. If you slow down just a little bit, you can get that invincibility, but I'm not going to get it. And this block right here, if you're a little quick with it, you can get ahead of it. I'm going to get ahead of it and manage to get in front of it and get the little goodies that we get. You can hit that red spring, hold right, and then just get into that little tunnel right there. You'll be greeted with 20 rings and a shield, so that's awesome. And right here, we're already at the end of the zone. If you fall down here, it's not the end of the world because that little platform's there to catch you. You just gotta be very careful that when you jump up, you get on the platform and jump up to safe ground. And this is all entirely bottomless pit, so just be very careful with your platforming skills right here. When you see the little things on the bottom right that look like signposts, you can drop down that level safely. And the boss fight with Robotnik here is a little bit different. You have these walls on the sides that weren't there in the original version. And Robotnik's strategy is to drop down, skewer one of the blocks, lift it up, and make less room for you to jump and stay on, because that's a bottomless pit. And you want to get him to break the blocks on the left, not the right side. Once he goes down to skewer the platform, you can get about 4 hits in, probably more, if you time it right. But with that, he's defeated. But again, make sure you have him take out the left blocks, not the right blocks, because if you take out all the right blocks, it'll be a longer jump, and if you make it too far, you won't be able to make that jump, I don't think. But with that, we're done. And we'll get into what a lot of people consider the worst level in Sonic the Hedgehog 1, which I don't find it too bad, honestly. It's a water level, but I really do like the design of Labyrinth Zone, and I really, really do like the music, and it has that Sonic the Hedgehog twang, not Sonic the Hedgehog, that Sega Genesis twang to it, and I don't know, the Sega twang is something I really did like back in the day. I know the Super Nintendo had a better sound chip, but man, Sega when they knew how to use that twang, it was twanging, dude. I don't know, I just really do like it. Makes me smile. And then another thing about one of the things that undoubtedly I don't like about Labyrinth Zone is the fact that it's underwater, but it's really not that bad in this level, this particular version of water level in Sonic. I feel like it's still kind of fast paced. The level is still kind of short. You can beat these levels on average of 2 minutes, I feel, if you know what you're doing. If you're speedrunning, then of course you can get the OGs. You can do it a lot faster. If you run out of air, or you're about to run out of air, you'll get that little anxiety-inducing jingle in Sonic, letting you know you have 5 seconds to get some air or get out of the water. And it's really not fun to hear that track, which I think we're about to hear it in a minute. Soon, I think, maybe. Yep, but we got out soon, fast enough. So you hear that track, you only got 5 seconds to get out of the water or get air, otherwise Sonic will drown and you'll lose a life. But along the way, there's these little air things, which I'm sure a lot of people know that's just to get air so that Sonic can go caw and then get air. This is the most annoying thing in Labyrinth Zone, are those spikes or spears or tridents, whatever you want to call them, because it just slows down your progression and they do hurt. But as you can see, we're already at the end of Labyrinth Zone, and we're just there 2 minutes. Actually, no, we still got a little bit more, but we're literally at the end. I'd say we beat it under 3 minutes. So the mole bots, the fish bots, super easy bots. Take out the orb bots right there. Those are annoying because once they launch, if they don't launch out their balls, that sounded funny. Launch out their balls. If they just stay within, they don't throw them. They're kind of hard to hit without taking a hit, unless you have invincibility frames. And then when they do launch their spike balls, it's if it's in a narrow corridor, it's kind of hard to avoid them. But if you duck, you can probably avoid them, depending on how high they are. But most of the time I just avoid them. But with that, we're done with Labyrinth Zone in just 3 minutes, under 3 minutes. So, awesome. And the good thing is we don't need to worry about special stages anymore, so we can just get through these levels lickety-split. With that, we finish Act 1 and we go into Act 2. And Act 2 is where you start getting the slip and slides going. Do 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 do. Burr, 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 burr. Anywho. Continue, just take out these drill and mole bots. And then we're getting launched in the water. And make use of this invincibility. If you keep a steady pace, you can make very good use of it. I'm going to kind of screw it up a little bit here. I didn't really need to get these ring boxes, but I'm going to go ahead and get it anyways. Normally what I do is I just hit those 2 fish bots, just continue to the right, and as you notice, their invincibility does Jack Doodley's squat against drowning. So you can still drown when you're invincible, so just be careful about that. Go up here, this water tube will launch us out over here, and we're going to be in a little bit of a puzzle room of sorts. And even though it's called Labyrinth Zone, the puzzles that are in this level are not super duper difficult. Matter of fact, they're not difficult at all in my opinion. There is a switch we need to hit here. It's right beneath that ring monitor in the center on that one platform. So break that TV monitor, don't fall down like I did, and then jump on that switch. It will open the door on the right, and then we can continue on. Just watch out for the gargoyle statue here. I get a little bit paranoid and I jump a little too far, and I don't have enough momentum to carry me, so I gotta do it over one more time. Okay, so then get the invincibility. Almost got hit right there, and then just drop right down. Just keep running. Just keep running. Keep running. Keep running. Avoid. Well, you don't have to avoid anything. You're invincible. So just keep going. Luckily, we can take out that orb bot. We don't have to worry about jumping over it. And then just get through all these hazards as much as you can. I could have probably kept going for a few more seconds with that invincibility, but ooh, almost got hit. I don't know that. Those opening notes for this track are so addicting to me. Like right here, I think you could duck and avoid this orb bot, but I'm gonna get hit, and I'm gonna use invincibility frames to my advantage. So, whoop. And then we go up on the conveyor belt. This conveyor belt has another one, I think that's intersecting with it. And so you're gonna have to jump off to get on the other one so you don't get skewered by the spikes. So jump on this one. And don't worry, we're almost out, so we don't have to worry about drowning. Those opening notes are so addicting. We get an extra life here, and we're at the end of Labyrinth Zone. Just with 2 minutes and 31 seconds. So, not too bad. And Act 3, I'm going to probably do Act 3 a little bit different than what most people do. Most people will take what I call the upper path in Labyrinth Zone. I'm going to take the lower path that's right underwater, because I feel that the lower path is a bit more dangerous, but I feel like it's a little bit more faster. And I say a little bit more dangerous because I don't find it to be super duper dangerous. I just find it to be super quicker than the top path in my opinion. So hit the switch here. This path you have to take it no matter what. And then you'll hit the switch right here. It'll open up pathway on the bottom. You can get those rings if you want. I'm going to choose ignore them. And then this is what I mean by the upper and lower path. That middle platform will drop if you jump on it. And I'm going to choose to just stay on it and ride it down. And so now we're on the deepest part of Act 3. And as you notice, there's a little bit of background difference compared to Act 1 and 2. It's almost like we're getting deeper in Labyrinth Zone, which is kind of cool. I like that little attention to detail. Then continue on, just make sure you take out any of the drill bots that are poking their heads up. When you're on this part, make sure you guide Sonic on these poles so that he doesn't, when he slips or when you press the jump button, he doesn't skewer himself on the spikes. And that part's pretty cool. I like that part. Running out of time. Okay, never mind. We're not running out of time. So jump up here, hit spring. There's a switch on the top left. You need to hit that switch. That way you can open the path on the right. Get some air. Continue on here. And then we will jump to avoid the orb bot. That, I believe, we are already at the part where we get to the boss. So yeah, once you get to this little checkpoint right here, you can jump on these sponge blocks. On the far right, it will rise up, and just keep jumping. And what you want to do is you really want to beat this boss in one go, if at all possible. So that way you have rings. If you die, then you won't have any rings, but you will have access to a shield. Once we get to the top part of this section, there'll be a shield box on the left. Break that open, and then we can start the boss fight here. Your goal is to get to the top, not to beat Robotnik. As a matter of fact, I don't know if you can actually destroy Robotnik's Eggmobile. I'm not saying it can't be done, but I've never done it. I'm normally just worrying about staying alive. And right here, this is like the worst case scenario for me. I got hit early on, and we're in this water, and you can still drown. One thing I will say, I feel like the Sega Genesis version, the original version, so you had a little bit more time before you start getting the timer, in my opinion. But running out of time, running out of time, running out of time. I swear, those spears are the worst part of this. But with that, we get out. I'm going to hit Robotnik one more time. I'm going to say, no, I'm not hit that capsule first. I'm going to hit Robotnik first. So, hit the capsule, and we're done with Labyrinth Zone. But with that, we're done. And I will catch you on the last part in Starlight Zone. See you folks later in. Bye.